My name is Andrew Bonsell, and this is a scripture reading video for my Intro to Preaching class. I want to apologize up front for the quality of the video. I'm using my super old Kodak camera. Our new camera's not working for some reason, and I don't know why. So, bear with me. I know the picture and the audio is not going to be that great, but it's all I got. So, here we go. I'm going to be reading from 1 Kings chapter 14, verses 1 through 18. And I like to go back in the Old Testament, whether I'm teaching at church or even in my devotional time. I like to go through the Old Testament and pick through some of those stories that aren't as popular. They aren't as well known. But I think they're still important, nevertheless, to our understanding of who God is. And so this is one of those stories. The main character here is Jeroboam. And Jeroboam was a servant under King Solomon. And he did his job well, and he got promoted. And Solomon was a very wise king, a very good king. But at the end of his reign, he fell away. He was married to 700 foreign wives, and sure enough, he fell victim to their religions. He was busy worshiping other gods. God became very angry with Solomon, and he decided he was going to tear the kingdom away from Solomon's son. And Jeroboam was the guy that God picked to give the kingdom to. He was going to give 10 of the 12 tribes to Jeroboam. The Lord spoke this word to Jeroboam through a prophet named Ahijah. And Ahijah was a faithful guy. He was committed to speaking what the Lord wanted him to speak. And he told Jeroboam, if you obey God, if you follow His will, His ways, and His laws, you're going to be blessed. You're going to have descendants on the throne. It was a pretty good deal for Jeroboam. But sure enough, he fell away. He didn't follow God's laws. He made his own altars. He appointed his own priests. It was a mess. So now, Jeroboam's son has become ill. And Jeroboam, in this time of distress, his mind, like all of ours, goes to God, the true God. He sends his wife to go talk to Ahijah, the prophet, to see what's going to happen to his son. Is there any way, any chance that his son could be healed? And at that time, Abijah, son of Jeroboam, became ill. And Jeroboam said to his wife, go disguise yourself so you won't be recognized as the wife of Jeroboam, and then go to Shiloh. Ahijah the prophet is there, the one who told me I would be king over this people. Take 10 loaves of bread with you, some cakes and a jar of honey, and go to him. He will tell you what will happen to the boy. So Jeroboam's wife did what he said, and went to Ahijah's house in Shiloh. Now Ahijah could not see. His sight was gone because of his age. But the Lord had told Ahijah, Jeroboam's wife is coming to ask you about her son, for he is ill, and you are to give her such and such an answer. When she arrives, she will pretend to be someone else. So when Ahijah heard the sound of her footsteps at the door, he said, come in, wife of Jeroboam. Why this pretense? I have been sent to you with bad news. Go tell Jeroboam that this is what the Lord, the God of Israel, says. I raised you up from among the people and made you a leader over my people Israel. I tore the kingdom away from the house of David and gave it to you, but you have not been like my servant David, who kept my commandments and followed me with all his heart, doing only what was right in my eyes. You have done more evil than all who lived before you. You have made for yourself other gods, idols made of metal. You have provoked me to anger and thrust me behind your back. Because of this, I am going to bring disaster on the house of Jeroboam. I will cut off from Jeroboam every last male in Israel, slave or free. I will burn up the house of Jeroboam as one burns dung, until it is all gone. Dogs will eat those belonging to Jeroboam who die in the city, and the birds of the air will feed on those who die in the country. The Lord has spoken. As for you, go back home, and when you set foot in your city, the boy will die. All Israel will mourn for him and bury him. He is the only one belonging to Jeroboam who will be buried, because he is the only one of the house of Jeroboam in whom the Lord, the God of Israel, has found anything good. The Lord will raise up for himself a king over Israel, who will cut off the family of Jeroboam. This is the day. What? Yes, even now. And the Lord will strike Israel so that it will be like a reed swaying in the water. He will uproot Israel from this good land that he gave to their forefathers and scatter them beyond the river. Because they provoked the Lord to anger by making Asherah poles. And he will give Israel up because of the sins Jeroboam has committed and has caused Israel to commit. And Jeroboam's wife got up and she went to Tirzah. As soon as she stepped over the threshold of the house, the boy died. They buried him, and all Israel mourned for him, as the Lord had said through his servant, the prophet Ahijah. It's not a fun story. Ahijah has this fire and brimstone message for Jeroboam and his family. And I think it's easy for us to forget sometimes. We go through our daily schedules. We go through ministry, and we go through teachings, and we deal with people. And sometimes we forget that the call upon our lives is a serious call. The God that we serve is a serious God. And so this story about Jeroboam and Ahijah, it doesn't have a happy ending, but it can have a powerful impact on our lives. We can wake up a little bit and remember that we need to serve our God with all the seriousness we can muster, all the joy that we can muster, all the effort, and all that this call upon our lives is a lifelong call, and it also involves every aspect of who we are.